What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So it's 2:30 p.m. right now on the East Coast, and all the indexes in the U.S. here in the U.S. stock market are down except for the Russell. The Russell's actually up 0.6%, but the NASDAQ is down 0.8%, the S&P is down 0.3%, the Dow's down 0.2%, and we have the VIX, funny enough, also down about 0.5%, as silver is up 3%. And we have gold up about 0.75%. So in this video, we're going to break down some earnings. We have some companies here to talk about. Amazon, which didn't report earnings, but this could be the first time since 2020 that Amazon closes under a $1 trillion market cap. We're going to break down Uber, Pfizer, BP, and a bunch of other companies. So sit back, relax, take a sip of your water, guys. Stay hydrated, and let's dive into the video. So right now, again, it's about 2:30 on the East Coast, and all of the indexes are pulling back. And, well, except for the Russell. And what I'm noticing here on SPY, which tracks the S&P 500, we actually took the highs out from not yesterday, but Friday, right? Those highs were at about 390-ish. And right now in the morning, well, not right now, but, this morning, a couple hours ago, in the pre-market, actually, we hit almost 391. So we actually took the highs out from Friday, which is actually pretty good. And the second, funny enough, the second we did see that, the markets started to I'm mumbling and jumbling, guys. They started to tank at that point from 390 down to about 383, which was a drop of about 2%. And since that point, we've been consolidating. Now we're pushing about 385 per share. And you can see here, going back to the 20-day chart, we are getting some buying pressure. Not really buying pressure, but we're consolidating right at this moving average, at the 180 moving average, which you can see on this 20-day chart we've held pretty much every time we've pulled back to it over the past couple of weeks. So SPY looks pretty good here for the bulls. And Triple Q, if I pull it up, we're noticing maybe not the same technicals as SPY, because this isn't fully breaking out of the highs from last week. We're not above the moving averages, but well, actually, let me double check. Is SPY above both? I think it's above the 180. Yeah, 180. Triple Q's not above any of the moving averages here, but it actually is fighting to hold a higher low. You guys see that here? If I pull this up and show you the circle tool, you can see that. Boom, 1, 2, 3. Oops, I just deleted my alert. 4. You guys see that, right? So at this point, I'd argue this is an ascending triangle on Triple Q, right? You guys see that resistance at 285 for weeks at this point. And over the past roughly 2 weeks, we've been making higher lows, and now we're seeing we're waiting to see if bulls come in here in the mid-270s, which right now it's down 1%. We're not really seeing that yet. A lot of buying pressure, but we'll see. And if we do break past, let's say 278, 280, especially 285, that's where the bulls could really start taking this thing for a ride. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And have you gotten your free money from Moomoo yet? If you haven't, use that link down below, or go to StasSurfS.com/Moomoo. Deposit at least $100, and you could get up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000. And on top of that, for their 10-year anniversary, you get $10 guaranteed. So if you want free money and you want to help out the channel, use that Moomoo link down below. And you could also get 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. Guess where that's at? Also linked down below. And with that being said, let's talk about the stocks. So like I said in the intro, guys, today is the first day, well, if it closes, roughly where it's at now, today's the first day since 2020 Amazon would close under a $1 trillion market cap, which is crazy. And we're seeing a lot of these tech stocks collapse and see their valuations contract like crazy. I mean, we've seen Meta go from a $1 trillion market cap roughly. It hit $1 trillion, right? Yeah, it did. It hit $1 trillion. And now it's at a quarter of that, pretty much. It's at $250 billion. We've seen now Amazon go from, God knows where it was, almost $2 trillion at some point. Now it's under $1 trillion when I'm filming this. It's at like $998 billion or something like that. We've seen Alphabet come down a substantial amount. Apple, even though Apple is still well above $1 trillion, it's come down a substantial amount. So it's going to be interesting moving forward here. I've said this before on the channel, and I'll say it again. Amazon's one of those stocks that I still own a little bit of it, but I've actually trimmed it, not recently, but, back in probably 2020, 21, I trimmed a bunch of it. And, at this point, it's getting to a valuation where I'm like, this is looking pretty decent. If this comes down like a 700 billion market cap, 800, heck, even here, a slightly, a little bit under 1 trillion, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at it. I'm not salivating. It's not like the deal of the century or anything like that, but, it's getting to a point where it's starting to get attractive. At this point, it's down from $190 a share to $96 a share. It is down almost in half for a company that is, is one of the biggest. It's essentially, it's like an ETF, guys. I mean, these big tech stocks these days, they're so diversified within the business. It's like an ETF. It's insane. So yeah, it's down 50%. It's getting to a point where I believe we're getting to not a bargain basement value or anything like that, but we're starting to get to a point where it's starting to catch my attention again. Let's just put it that way. So watch out for Amazon. Let's see if it closes over $1 trillion, under $1 trillion. What do you guys think it's gonna do? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And let's talk about some earnings now. We obviously had SoFi, which I covered in my last video. I made a SoFi dedicated video. Go check it out if you guys haven't done that already. We covered that, and it's up 6% now. At one point, SoFi was up 19%. And I'm not sure if you saw, guys, but Uber also reported, ticker symbol UBER, and the stock is up 12.5% right now, right at $30 a share. And you can see, look at this inverse head and shoulders we called out. We outlined a couple of videos ago, I think maybe on Sunday. It is starting to play out. You guys can see the right shoulder is not fully formed yet, but starting to break. We're above the moving averages here. And if I zoom in a little bit here on the 4-hour, you can see we're actually taking the highs out from, when was this? The beginning of October at about $30. We're starting to get out of there. So this could begin moving towards the mid-30s at this point. And now, granted, we're slightly under $30. So keep that in mind. I'm actually going to put my alert at maybe $30.50. We'll see what it does from there. And we could start moving towards, mid-30s from that point, on a technical basis. So let's see what Uber ended up doing here. They did sales of $8.3 billion versus $8.13 billion estimated. Gross bookings were $29.1 billion, up 26% year over year. And they see Q4 gross bookings growth of 23 to 27% and adjusted EBITDA of $600 to $630 million. Let's see what else we have here. Now sees Q4 gross bookings, yada yada. I actually just said that. EPS was negative 61 cents. So as expected, they lost money. Not surprised there. And let's see, active Q3 monthly active platform consumers were 124 million, which is actually a lot. Holy crap. That's a lot. That's up 14% year over year. So Uber's actually not doing as bad as I thought they were, to be honest. I thought they wouldn't be doing this great or this well. It's not like they're crushing it or anything like that, but they're not doing that bad, guys. Active platform consumers up 14%. Looks like losses are slimming. Are they? Let me double check that. I mean, I'm not sure how many shares. They're probably issuing shares like no other, but a couple quarters ago, they lost $3. In the last quarter, they lost $1.30. They just lost 61 cents. So that's a good sign. And it looks like did they double beat? I'm not seeing the estimates here, but overall, the stock, either way, the stock is liking it. Again, it's up 12.5%, 13% right now. And if it breaks $31, we might have some more upside there on Uber, guys. So Pfizer, let's pull up Pfizer. They also reported, and this one is also up on the day, 3.5% roughly when I'm filming this video, and it's above the moving averages. We have a golden cross, all that good stuff. And one thing worth mentioning here, now that I'm looking at this, is we are more at the top of this channel. You guys see this right here, top of the channel. So keep that in mind. If we fail here at about 49.50, which I think is likely. I feel like we will see a pullback there. We will get some profit taking probably back towards the moving averages. we're probably going to come back to the mid 40s. But if we, let's say, break 50 at some point, we break this channel, there's going to be more upside, probably a lot more upside from that point. And I'm actually going to set my alert here at $50, and we'll see what happens from there. So let's see what Pfizer ended up doing. They ended up doing, let's see here, EPS adjusted of $1.78 versus the $1.39 estimated on revenue of $22.63 billion, which beat the $21.07 billion and is actually down year over year from the $24 billion last year, which makes sense. You guys remember what happened last year, right? All the shots that were going around. Yeah, the revenue's down year over year. But overall, the stock is moving. Like I said, it looks like they raised their full-year adjusted EPS guidance to $6.40 to about $6.40 to $6.50 versus the prior $6.30 to $6.45. All right, looks like they narrowed that. So yeah, put your alert at $55 or $50, guys, and then I feel like we could be going to the mid 50s from that point. BP, let's pull it up. BP ended up reporting as well, and this is right at a big resistance in the low mid 30s, 33, 34, 35. You guys can see that clear as day, right? So they ended up doing $2.59 in EPS versus $2.07 estimated on revenue of $55.01 billion versus $64.76 billion. So they completely blew it on revenue, but they did beat on EPS. And let's see what else. Anything on guidance, revenue, anything like that? BP clocks 145 year-over-year growth in Q3 profit, announces further $2.5 billion share buyback, so they're going to be continuing to buy the shares. And if I had to guess, guys, I think BP does break out of 35 here. We break the mid-30s. That's been resistance for a good couple of months. So I'm going to set my alert. Mark is at or above $35 a share. And let's see, is this near all-time highs? Let me double check. Probably not. Yeah, probably not. It's not. You can see here all-time highs were hit in 07, 08, which were actually well off those highs. Well off those highs here on BP. It is down from $80, which was that high in 08, 07, to now 33. It is down 60% from those highs. And we also had MRO report today, which is Marathon Oil. Let's pull that up and talk about it. They ended up doing, let's see here. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. Well, it's actually not even saying it here, so I'm not going to be able to tell you guys. Wait a second. Actually, no. They raised their, well, that's their dividend. Wait a second. No, they didn't report yet. That's my bad. They report tomorrow or in 2 days. It wasn't MRO. It was MPC. I always mix those two up. MPC reported, Marathon Petroleum, and you guys can see they're up 5%, breaking out. And did we not call the breakout out here on the channel, guys? They're breaking out, up 5%. So they ended up doing, let's see here, adjusted EPS of $7.81 versus $6.62, estimated on revenue of $47.24 billion versus $41.01 billion estimated. So they beat EPS, beat revenue, and it looks like they increased their dividend to 75 cents per share from 58 cents. Oh, that's that's a big chunk increase right there. Nice. That's pretty good. Payable on December 12th to shareholders of record on November 16th. So I guess you could still, what's is that the ex-dividend date on the 16th? Maybe. All right, so that means, okay, if you buy it right now, you can still get the dividend, right? If that is the ex-dividend date, I have to go look deeper into that. But overall, they are doing well. Like a lot of energy companies are. They crushed it. And the signs that they're doing well, guys, it's right. It's the proof's in the pudding, right? They're beating EPS, beating revenue. They're raising the dividend. A company's not going to be raising their dividend unless, there are some devious tactics that companies use to get you to invest in their stock. They might raise their dividend, and you're thinking, oh, it's a great dividend, and they're going to be paying it with debt, or they're going to screw you over without you knowing it with a high dividend yield to sucker you in. But we're not going to get into that in this video. But a lot of the times, companies that increase their dividends, they're just flush with cash. They're getting, there's a lot, and we know that for sure with these energy companies now. They're flushed with cash. They're getting a lot of, an influx of earnings, and they're giving more money to their shareholders. That's just what's happening. And MPC is, breaking out. These shareholders are being rewarded. And you guys can see now with this breakout towards $120, this thing is at all-time highs. We just hit a fresh all-time high on MPC. So let's see what else we had here. We had PSX report as well. Phillips 66, which is right by a high now. And honestly, I'm looking at this chart and I'm like, ooh, this is pretty overbought. I wouldn't FOMO into this. But who knows? If this thing breaks 111, 112, the high from June, this could continue for all we know. I mean, definitely possible. So this company reported this morning they did $6.46 in EPS versus the $4.91 estimate. They crushed that. And revenue came in, let's see here, at, where is it here? $5.4 billion, it looks like. I'm not sure what the estimate was on that, but that's pretty good here. And anything on the dividend guidance, nothing like that here for PSX. But overall, 111. If that breaks, 112 even, watch out for it. But it's pretty overbought in the short term. I'd be careful there. This might come down a little bit, low hundreds, before it runs back to that 110.15 mark or towards that point for the first time. So that's pretty much it for this video, guys. We broke down a bunch of companies. Oh, there's one more, actually. Wait a second. We had Toyota report as well this morning. Let's actually play that. Toyota Motor ended up doing, let me pull up the live news tab and see here. They ended up reporting, where the heck are their earnings? They're not here either. Dang it, I should have wrote them down before, guys. I think I saw them on Yahoo Finance. Why are they not here on the live news tab? Either way, they reported the stock's down 2.5%. This thing has just been in the dumpster for the past couple of months at this point, but overall the monthly chart, the max chart looks pretty dang good here. But if you look here on the 1-year chart, it's been in the gutter. It is down about 35%. It's in a bear market. And on the 3-year chart, you can see it even better, right? So with that being said, guys, I'm going to wrap the video up. If you stuck till the end, let me know in the comments. Stay stuck till the end. Drop an emoji. Do whatever. And make sure, as always, to hit that like button and subscribe and get your $10 free plus up to 15 stocks, each up to $2,000 for Moomoo. Use that link down below. Deposit at least $100. And you could also get up to 12 stocks from Webull with any amount deposited. Use those links. And if you want, check out my Patreon. Give it a shot. Now's the best time to do it. You get all my buys, sells, call outs, exclusive morning update videos on there, and you get to access me throughout the day, more, direct access. So if you want to join the Patreon community, that is linked down below. And with that being said, cheers, guys. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.